I don't like talking about the competition so much, but I drive the Xiaomi. We flew one from Shanghai to Chicago, and I've been driving it for 6 months now, and I don't want to give it up.
Automotive world was shaken when Ford CEO praised Chinese EVs after spending 6 months behind the wheel of a Xiaomi SU7. Yes, that electric car that just shattered the Nürburgring record for EVs. This bold endorsement has ignited a firestorm of controversy across forums and discussions and even Reddit. Today, we're breaking down the key points, exploring the backlash and understanding why this story is resonating so deeply across the world. The Nürburgring is where giants are made or broken, and the Xiaomi SU7 shattered records with an electrifying lap time. But it's not just about the car. Ford CEO praising this Chinese EV set off alarms across the industry. Concerns over national security, dealership frustrations, and debates about market competition that everyone is talking about. So what's really going on behind these headlines? Yes, this story has struck a nerve, so you're gonna want to stick around to the end. Like, subscribe, and let's go. One of the most heated discussions centers around the fears of Chinese dominance in the automotive industry. If Chinese automakers had unrestrained access to the US market, they could severely undercut American manufacturers, thanks to government subsidies and efficient production costs. The ripple effect? Potential shutdowns of US factories, massive job losses, and a weakened American automotive industry. And guys, you know we've already seen this in other industries. Think electronics, like do you have an iPhone or an Android? Or textiles. And now it feels like it's coming for us in the automotive world as well. We just can't compete with these subsidies and the scale that Chinese manufacturers have. And the Xiaomi Nürburgring record just puts more salt in the wound, because it wasn't just about raw horsepower. This SU7 Ultra prototype combines lightweight materials, a finely tuned suspension, and state-of-the-art aerodynamics to shave off every possible millisecond. The proprietary battery management system allows the car to extract maximum power without overheating, and that's a crucial factor on a grueling track like the Nürburgring. And this was the ultimate EV flex. I mean, look at those carbon ceramic brakes. They are massive, and they're sure-footed even at speeds over 200 miles per. And the fact that this thing obliterated the Nürburgring EV record, well, has us all scratching our heads, because that is very good marketing, and it makes a lot of people, even someone like me, kind of want one, especially if it doesn't cost a lot. But is that the right thinking? Well, I don't know, because if I were to buy one, well, that is where another frustration comes in: the traditional dealership model. Buying a car through a dealership can feel like navigating a minefield of hidden costs. I mean, ask me how I know. When we bought Lizzo 2 years ago, I'm telling you, it was the most painful experience ever. And whether you love or you hate Tesla, well, the one thing that they did do is they revolutionized car sales. Ford's endorsement on Chinese EVs implied a more streamlined, more modern approach, something many US customers are already longing for. I mean, I remember being hit with so many additional fees at the dealership when I bought this thing. Markups, I mean, like 30 or 40 grand over, protection plans, service fees. It felt like it was never ending.
Now, Ford's reputation as a reliable and durable brand is facing increasing scrutiny, especially among consumers and industry insiders. Once heralded for their robust trucks and dependable vehicles, recent years have seen a surge in complaints about quality control, unreliable parts, and frequent breakdowns. Here's a quick overview of the issues and factors contributing to Ford's declining reputation. One common criticism stems from inconsistent quality control during manufacturing. Multiple owners have reported issues with new F-150s breaking down shortly after purchase, with problems ranging from engine failures to faulty electronic components. Some attribute these issues to Ford's over-reliance on complex systems, such as turbocharged engines and advanced electronics, which, while can be innovative, can be prone to failures. For example, cam phaser problems have persisted in F-150 models for years, causing frustration among owners and mechanics alike. Another concern is the durability of parts used in Ford vehicles. Reports highlight frequent failures of components like sunroofs, timing chain tensioners, and door locks. Many of these issues point to cost-cutting measures that result in subpar materials, leaving customers to bear the financial burden and expensive repairs. For instance, one F-150 owner that I talked to had frozen door locks during winters, alongside other mechanical failure, which led to significant repair costs. Plus, the increased cost of Ford vehicles also raises questions about value for money. Consumers have noted, despite paying $80,000 or more for high-end trucks, the build quality, particularly of interiors, just feels kinda cheap. Comments such as "the dash feels cheaper than a Happy Meal toys" reflect growing dissatisfaction with what consumers perceive as a mismatch between price and quality. Labor practices have also been scrutinized. While some blame unions for inefficiencies, others argue that corporate penny pinchers prioritize shareholder profits over customer satisfaction. Assembly line anecdotes suggest workers may not always prioritize quality, which further exacerbates the problem. To be fair though, it's not all bad. Ford's trucks remain among the most popular in North America, and a lot of owners still report reliable performance from models like hybrid Mavericks to pre-COVID F-150s. However, the disparity in experiences suggests that purchasing a Ford vehicle is increasingly a gamble, with some models delivering excellence and others plagued by problems. Ultimately, Ford faces a critical need to address these concerns, balancing innovation with durability and improving quality control, which could help restore consumer trust in a brand that once symbolized American reliability. Until then, though, prospective buyers might want to approach with caution.
Direct sales could really change the game for people like me and you. And there is a fine line between protecting interests and catering to consumer demands. While many fear that opening up to Chinese automakers could crush American jobs, others see competition as essential to keeping vehicle prices in check. Lower priced vehicles might seem attractive, but they come with hidden costs, supporting subsidized industries that operate under different rules, often to the detriment of the American workers. And if we want to keep prices competitive, opening the market is one of the ways that we can do that, but it risks putting American workers on the chopping block. It's a tough balance between economic competitiveness and job security. And the disparities between US and Chinese labor practices also adds fuel to the controversy. Many feel that supporting an industry that exploits low-wage labor contradicts the values that American workers fought hard to establish. Moreover, the rapid rise of China's auto industry has been questioned by accusations of IP theft, with some alleging that advancements in Chinese EVs have roots in copied or reverse engineered technologies from foreign manufacturers. I mean, just imagine American engineers spending years developing cutting-edge technology only for it to be reverse engineered and used to create cheaper alternatives overseas. That's the fear that many have, and it's fueling the outrage. The rise of Chinese EVs is forcing legacy automakers like Ford to reevaluate their position in the market. They face not only new technology, but also radically different economic structures and government policies. Ford's potential path forward could involve embracing innovation in a way that aligns more closely with American values, investing in local battery production, improving labor standards, and finding ways to reduce costs without sacrificing quality. So there's really three potential strategies. The first is direct-to-consumer sales, something that I think we all are longing for. Ford could push for legislative changes that allow direct sales, bypassing the traditional middleman, aka the dealerships, and offering more competitive pricing to consumers. The second is local battery production. They could invest in local battery production facilities to cut down on costs and ensure more control over supply chains. And third, alliances and partnerships. Forming strategic partnerships with other American companies to improve technology sharing and reduce production costs would be a win-win. But will any of that ever happen? I don't know. So let us know in the comments below. How do you feel about the future of American automakers in the face of rising Chinese competition? Make sure to like, subscribe, turn on that notification bell for more updates on this story and a bunch of other Ideal content. And if you enjoyed, check out these Ideal vids over here. I'm Brad, this is Ideal. We'll see you next week, and promise me one thing, keep living the Ideal lifestyle.